Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Craig, and this is the Spirit of Vinyl. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. Happy Thursday. I ended up taking the day off today due to having to wait for my heating and air conditioning guy to show up. Our AC's been out for like 4 days, and it's been super freaking hot. But it's all fixed now, and everything's all good. So, things just happen sometimes, kind of in pairs. I had the dog last week, the AC this week. That's two. Hopefully, I don't get a third one. That's all I got to say. So, they say bad things come in threes. So, I don't know. Somebody give me a thumbs down or something. Then I'll consider that my third bad thing. And then nothing drastic will have to happen. So, I thought I'd throw out a quick video while everybody's, wife's still at work, kids at work. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about punk music, or what I consider punk music. And, we have punk is a wide range of different things, but I'm talking about more like 90s type punk music, some of that poppier type stuff, which I really do enjoy. I don't have a ton of it, but back in the day, early 90s or whatever, my brother took me to my first punk show, and we went and saw NoFX and Lagwagon. And me being a metal guy, and I was probably, I don't know, 23, maybe 22 years old, somewhere around there. Never been to a punk show before. We went to some little tiny venue to see these bands I'd never heard of. My brother was into at the time, so he wanted to go see him. And I became a fan of that style of music. And for those 4 or 5 years, we went to all the shows, NoFX, Bad Religion, and Face to Face, and Pennywise, and on and on and on, and Vans Warped Tours, and all these things that we saw back in the mid 90s, and really enjoyed that sound of some of those bands. So I want to talk about some of those bands today, and kind of what I listened to throughout the week, because I was in the mood for some punk music. So I'm going to start with the band for me that started it all, is NoFX. This is NoFX's White Trash, Two Hebes and a Bean. This is from 1992. It's their fourth album overall. This is a 2022 repress. So it's got this kind of cool inner sleeve. It shows who they are with their pictures. See, so you got Eric. He's the white trash guy. See the beer. And then Fat Mike over here, he's kind of the leader of the band. He's one of the Hebes on the album cover. Here's Eric. There's some more Jewish delicacies in a jar there. So he's another one. And this is for El Jefe. He's a Hispanic gentleman in the band. He is the Bean. White Trash, Two Hebes and a Bean. This is a pretty cool sounding repress. Didn't have much in it, just that inner sleeve, but the disc looks cool as hell. Check this out. I really dig this album. Probably one of my favorite NoFX albums. It's got a pretty cool track listing. It's got Sold Out and She's Gone. Oh, let me look at the back here. Let's see here. We've got, Sold Out, Sticking in My Eye. Please play this song on the radio. Bob, You're Bleeding. I Want to Be Your Baby. Straight Edge. Johnny Appleseed. Liza and Louise. Great song. Liza and Louise is a great song. NoFX is a cool band. They're kind of funny, sort of a comedy type. Not necessarily comedy, but their lyrics definitely have some tongue-in-cheek humor in them. So I like it. I like it a lot. So after NoFX, the other band I really got into at that time were these guys right here, Bad Religion, Recipe for Hate. I think this is a really, really good band altogether. Sorry, let me move some stuff around here. So Bad Religion, Recipe for Hate, 1993. This is a 2021 repress on Epitaph Records. And this is their seventh album overall. There's the track listing in the back. This repress from 21, didn't have much in it. Little inner sleeve with a picture of the band, lyrics on the back. But Bad Religion was another band I really got into at the time due to just their lyrical content and everything else. Record's just black. It's got that cool Epitaph logo in there. But yeah, this album, Recipe for Hate, American Jesus, Kerosene, Portrait Authority, Man with a Mission. I've heard this album 1,000 times. I love every bit of it. It's a great record. Definitely different lyrical content than No Effects. A lot more serious, pretty heavy stuff. Very political, very kind of anti-religious, and that's kind of why I was into them at the time. I was having my own problems with my own spirituality when I got into No Effects or to Bad Religion back in the 90s, and I really just dug their look and their sound, and seeing them live a whole bunch of times, they've just been great. So if you don't have that, or if you haven't listened to it in a while, I suggest give it a listen just to refamiliarize yourself with some great early 90s punk. So the other thing I listened to, this is AFI. It's called an Essential Retro of AFI or something like that. It's got like this is basically a compilation album that was put out in 2004 on Nitro Records. This is, an essential retrospective of AFI, the Nitro years. It's, like I said, from 2004, and basically this is from their mid-90s to the 2000s. It's a compilation. It's kind of cool. I don't really go for picture disc. A friend of mine gave me this. I was never really listened to AFI. I've listened to this. I like this a lot. This is, like I said, their earlier stuff. After they got signed to a different label, Nitro Records put out this. They owed them one more record, so they put out this compilation record. And of course, they own the rights to the music and all that. This is pretty good. This is more of a raw, heavier sounding punk than, Bad Religion or No Effects. A little bit heavier, more raw sounding. It's got some good songs on there. Very cool beats. This, like I said, a friend gave this to me. I don't know how well he took care of it. It has a few pops, a couple of skips, nothing that stays, just something that skips over parts. It doesn't have anything that gets stuck or whatever. I've listened to it a couple times. He basically loaned it to me, then told me I should just keep it. And if he ever wanted it back, he knew where it was. So that's how I got that AFI retrospective album. All right, next. Bikini Kill, Pussy Whipped. And I know I've shown this before because I just kind of got into these guys in the last year. I was at the record store like a year ago, and I was asking about some punk. And one of the guys said, "Oh, you got to listen to Bikini Kill." So I got their EP at that time. And then when I saw this, I bought this one too. 1993 is when this album came out. It's their debut album. After the EP, this is their debut full-length album. This is a 2019 repress. There's your track listing on the back of it. It's got this little inner sleeve right here with just lyrics on there. It came with a little download card. If you guys want to steal that and download it, go right ahead. I'm never going to use it. I don't even know if it's still good, but take that code and give it a shot if you want. I won't stop you. I'm never going to use it. So, and the record's just black, and it's got this kind of label on it with the names of the songs on each side, and it's just your basic black record. But what I got to say about Bikini Kill, man, this is some heavy, like grungy punk sound from the early 90s. Like I said, this album's from 1993. Bikini Kill was only around for about 6 years, from like 1990 to 1997 is when they broke up, but they put out an album in like 95, I think. So there's only like 3 of them all together. So they were very short-lived, but this has some really cool sounds. Sometimes it's got kind of a grungy sound. Sort of reminds me of like what Courtney Love was doing with Hole, and sometimes it sounds like Black Flag. And this is very politically charged, very like angry punk music. They call it Riot Girl punk, which was a term I'd never heard of until I bought the Bikini Kill album. I was not into that kind of music in the 90s. I never saw this band, and this just never came across my radar, but I'm sure glad they came across later. So yeah, you want some cool, angry, punk, some hard, heavy stuff, Bikini Kill is the band for you. Another band, oh, let's see. And then I had this little hype sticker on it. So another band that's also hard and heavy and grungy, but this is later. This is 2001. The Distillers, Sing Sing Death House. Man, I don't know what to say about this record other than this is some raw, heavy stuff. This is a 2008 repress on Hellcat Records. It's their second album of 3. It has kind of a cool, it's got nice, heavy cardboard lyrics and thank you notes for the inner sleeve. The record itself is just your basic black record. It does have a cool Distillers picture with Brody on the front of it, and it's got the guns on the other side. The Distillers, I got into the Distillers. I got into this album. This is the only album I have from them, and they only have 3 records altogether. This is their second album overall. I saw the video back. This album came out in 2001, so it had to have been around that time. I saw the video for the song City of Angels, and their lead singer, Brody, she's such a badass, this punk rock chick with a mohawk and tattoos and playing the guitar and just singing like just this raw, hardcore stuff. And I was immediately hooked on what she was doing. I loved her sound and I loved her attitude. Picture's not very good. That's her right there. But yeah, great band, great aggressive, heavy type punk music. Just, that political type, angry, just raw, fast, heavy stuff. I like it a lot. This is a lot more Black Flag-ish compared to, the 90s poppy stuff. So if you want some more heavier punk, bordering on sometimes hardcore metal type sounding, get the Distillers Sing Sing Death House. Great record. If I could find their other ones, I'd pick those up too, but haven't really looked a whole lot, but Okay, another band from the 90s. This is one of my favorite albums of that era. Pennywise Full Circle, 1997, Epitaph Records, 4th album overall. This is that 90s sound, that more poppy type sound, but I mean, this is great lyrics, great songwriting. This is one of those albums I've heard 1,000 times. I know all the lyrics. There's the inner sleeve. This is a 2022 repress. I don't know if I said that already. On the back, it said the lyrics. I saw these guys a couple of times. Had the pleasure of seeing Pennywise live a couple of times. Man, what a great band. And this is a great record. It's one of my favorites of the era. I could listen to that on almost a daily basis. And this Epitaph repress looks cool as hell. There's the label on there. It's this gray and black splatter. Very cool record. Sounds awesome. These represses I've been getting from Epitaph recently, they all sound great and they look cool, But yeah, Pennywise Full Circle, I cannot recommend this album enough. To me, this is a 5-star record all the way together. One of my favorite bands of that era of the 90s. I was really into these guys. I was really into Bad Religion and Pennywise. And one more I'm going to show you here in just a second. Another band that I was really into, just a couple albums. I say really into, I don't mean I have their whole catalog or whatever, but there's like an era in time where I was into these bands, like 3 or 4 years where I was seeing them live on Warped Tours and when they would come to town. And Face to Face is one of those bands. Face to Face, self-titled album. This is their 3rd overall. This is from 1996. This is a 2016 repress on Fat Records. There's the back cover. There's your track listing. The last 2 songs on here were on the digital thing, Paint It Black, Please, 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 Let Me Get What I Want. they're okay. They kind of take it away from the record because I'd heard it so many times on CD or whatever back in the day. Those two songs weren't on there. I feel like they didn't really need to add it to this repress. What they should have done with this repress is maybe do better cardboard, really thin, kind of cheap. Inner sleeve like this, lyrics, picture of the band, and just a black vinyl. And there's your labels on the inside. Fat Records right there. Face to Face is one of those bands. I saw these guys. It's really interesting. I saw them like 3 times in a row. Literally, I saw and I actually saw them 3 times, 3 different shows. And in the second and third show, I saw them back to back because I saw them as an opening act for one band. I saw them again as a headlining act. And then when I went to my next concert, which was like 3 months later, Face to Face was the opening band. So I saw these guys like 3 times in less than a year on this album cycle. This is a great record. This is, like I said, this is from 1996, so it's got that 90s sound, but the lyrics are just very cool. It's got a cool sound. They're fast. It's kind of heavy, but still poppy. And lyrically, I think it's tremendous. And I love this record a lot. So I've kind of been into listening to the punk this week. So I know some people wouldn't consider some of that 90s pop stuff punk, but, whatever. In my opinion, like I said, Face to Face, Pennywise, Bad Religion, those 3 bands, though, just great music altogether. Bikini Kill, like I said, I just found those guys like a year ago, and I'm loving what I'm hearing from them, that raw, aggressive sound. Same with the Distillers, just that raw, aggressive sound. And if you want fun, poppy-type punk stuff, NoFX is great stuff also. So I like NoFX. I actually have probably more NoFX records than any of these other bands because they're a lot easier to find, and they are fun. And plus, Fat Records is owned by Fat Mike, and he's repressing all of his own stuff. So there's a lot more of that available out there if you're looking for NoFX records. So, all right, well, that's pretty much it for me. I don't know. Maybe I'll be back this weekend, see what you guys are doing, see if any threads pop up or whatever. But if not, I'll see you guys sometime next week. But I'm thinking probably Sunday sometime. So thank all you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful few days, or I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Like I said, thanks for watching. I'm Craig. This has been The Spirit of Vinyl, and we'll see you guys later.